We sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
You're listening to Are You Kidding Me Again with Zolz, powered by Velvet Llama, cocktails in a can on The Beacon. You can send your emails to Zolz at hvbeacon.com. Now, back to Zolz.
All right, welcome back to the program. As we said before, show number 31. Thanks to everyone that listens, our sponsors, Rob Adams, who's somewhere in Kerhonkson, Mikey Clicks on the board, making it happen, and the very last student I have in my Mount St. Mary College course is a point guard on the basketball team, a slasher, quick, with a Pete Maravich floppy hairdo. His name is Liam Lynch, and he's here to talk about the Knicks, and he believes that the Knicks are going to make the NBA Finals, and he's going to tell us why next. Liam, take it away.
Hi, guys. I believe the Knicks make the NBA Finals. The Knicks currently hold a 2-1 lead over the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference semifinals. After stealing 2 games on the road, they've shown they can come out tough, outwork the defending champs, and tonight's Game 4 will be massive for the Knicks. The reason I think the Knicks will win the NBA Finals this year, first being Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson has been the best closer in the playoffs. When the game slows down late, he's in total control. Next, Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson has completely changed the inside defense from the Knicks this season. Him coming back from injury has been a huge help, even though the free throw deficit. Another player, in OG Anunoby, his elite defense is essential for the Knicks in these games against the Celtics and their further playoff run. Coach Thibodeau has them playing disciplined physical basketball, defending without fouling, making Boston uncomfortable, making them miss shots. Knicks depth, with names like Miles McBride, Josh Hart, and Precious Chua, is severely wearing the Celtics down. I believe if the Knicks can get a win tonight over the Celtics, they'll have an easier series against either the Cavs or the Indiana Pacers, and they will be in the NBA Finals against whoever's there. Thank you.
All right. Rob Adams, you there? I'm going to say Rob did not make it.
He's on. The light is on, but it made this.
I'm here.
Oh, what was the time, Rob?
Yep. I came in at 1:20.
Yeah, I thought it was a little long. Hey, Liam, you still there?
Yep.
All right, so it was a little long. Rob, give the assessment first. The three of us will do it.
I love that he had presence, passion, patience. There's a way that he presented it that I really appreciate. The only thing I didn't like was the vacillation of if they win tonight, then maybe. That's my one thing, and obviously it went too long. But other than that, I'm a big fan of what he did.
Well, you know he plays basketball. He knows what he's talking about. But it's the same thing.
100%.
You need to take a stand. So, Liam, you can't pussyfoot. You got to say you think the Knicks are going to do this, they're going to do that. Don't hedge your bets. Mikey, what do you think?
Right.
I thought he took too many pauses, and that might have been a tribute to why it ran so long. But if talk freely and without the pause, because I lose interest when you pause.
Well, we thought there was something wrong the first time he did it.
Well, that's part of my problem is that I'm trying to listen to what the content. I'm also trying to make sure technically it's working. But the pauses is what was getting me.
Well, here's what I think is the main thing. First and foremost, school's been over.
Well, yeah,
and this kid,
he hung around.
He's at home. In fact, he sounds like he's at the beach right now at a payphone.
Yes.
So he cares enough to get it done.
Yes.
Because his grade's good enough. Literally, if he had gotten a 0 on this, he's still going to get a decent grade. So he didn't have to do this. So I appreciate the fact that as a fellow baller and a fellow ex-point guard, that he cared enough to do it.
Right.
So for me, he's getting bonus points for that.
Because the guy last week ghosted us.
Right.
So, yes, I totally agree with that.
So, give him a grade, Rob. Keeping him 9, I'm giving him bonus points.
Yep, and I'm giving him a 96 because of those bonus points. I like him, and I like what you said. He's a baller. 96.
Mikey.
I was going to say the same. 94, but 2 bonus points for showing up. 96.
All right, Liam, you got lucky. I'll see you next year. 96. Have a great summer.
Thank you, guys. Have a good summer.
Later, dude.
You too.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
I thought we were under attack.
Nope.
Is Rob still there?
Robbie's still.
I'm still here.
All right, so, yeah, the last guy ghosted us, and I you know what? Dude, I couldn't give him a 0, so I gave him a 50.
Oh, wow, you're nice.
I couldn't give him a 0, dude. There's no way. Because here's the thing. He didn't miss one single class all year. He didn't miss any other assignments.
Did he forget?
And he's local. And
He could have came in.
like Liam doesn't live in this market. He literally could have come to the stadium, to the station.
That's funny.
So I couldn't give him a 0. I am the Paula Abdul of graders. I give the kids the benefit of the doubt.
What happened to me?
All right, Rob. Where do you want to go next? NFL mini camps, Giants, Jets, or Yankees, Mets?
Oh, boy. Let's do the mini camp.
I know you're. At least I don't think you're on TikTok, but to me, I think TikTok is one of the greatest inventions of all time. I love it, and I find I get so much information on TikTok. It's silly, and you see things where you peek behind the curtain. And one of the things they showed was Cleveland Brown mini camp, and who's in Cleveland?
Shedeur Sanders.
Exactly. And the coach stood up in front of the room at all the camp and the assembled guys, and he said, stand up, tell us where you're from, and tell us, your name, where you're from, what college you went to. And every person went last. I went first, and you can imagine who went last. And then he gets up and he's, yo, I'm Shedeur Sanders, yo. I'm from Dallas, Texas, or Austin, Texas. I played at Colorado. Peace.
That's it?
But everybody else was like, hi, I'm Rick Zolzer. I went to Plattsburgh State, and I'm originally from the Bronx. And respectful, and he just shucked and jived his way through it. Then when it came to actual reps, the other rookie, got a lot of reps, and Shedeur did not. However, as much as I dislike the guy, he had by far the best deep ball pass of the entire camp.
Yes, he did.
He threw the ball about 60 yards in the air and hit a guy in stride. So all that talk about him not having an arm, I witnessed that that's not necessarily true. The other guy looked good in 7-on-7. Do you want to explain what 7-on-7 is in case the fans don't know?
It's exactly what it sounds like. You're playing 7-on-7. It's basically passing camp.
Right. No hitting, no linemen, no rushes, no none of that. It's the quarterback finding his receivers and making reads on the defense, blah, blah, blah. He did not do so well in that segment. The other kid did really good. So there's that. Then Giants. Our big number 1 draft pick finally found a number. He went with 51. I'm not sure
That'll do.
I'm not sure what the genesis is of number 51, but they said that the quarterback looked really good and that they could see how he has a bright future and all the good things. And then the Jets, same thing. They had a successful minicamp, both New York teams, and actually, I don't know about the real New York team in Buffalo. All I know is their stadium is almost ready, and they started putting seats in, so they should be ready for opening day. It's just that football, the life cycle for football is amazing to me because you had the end of the season, you had the playoffs, you had the Super Bowl, then you had the draft, now you have the mini camps. Now not tonight. What's coming? Oh, the schedule. I believe it's tomorrow night, and it's going to be a live 90-minute program, I would assume, on the NFL Network.
I would think so, although I also saw that they're going to announce that they've already announced, I should say, the initial Thursday night game. Game 1 of the season is Cowboys and Eagles, and whoop-de-doo. I mean, I have to watch the Cowboys again? Pretty tired of that.
Listen, if you're going to have the Super Bowl champs opening up on game 1, like they've been doing lately, Make it a
Yeah.
rematch of the Super Bowl. If you want to kick off the season and get big ratings, have the two teams play each other again, because you could really market it and play it up and say, hey, it's a rematch. Will Kansas City be able to get even? Will the Eagles you know what I mean? It's like you make opening night a rematch of the Super Bowl. How do they not know that?
I like it. I like doing that. I think that should be an automatic. But the NFL is hung up on their their kind of algorithm, if you will, of who's supposed to play who. And I don't know if Eagles Chiefs was on the docket for next year, but I think they should make it that way.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's on the docket or not. What matters is let's get the product on the screen that people want to see. If you want to kick off the season, and you want people to turn in, including the non-average football team, what better way to do it than to have those two teams play each other? At a bare minimum, Rob, let's let the Eagles play in game 1 of the doubleheader and let the Chiefs play in game 2 of the doubleheader.
I agree. Totally agree. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, first game tips off at 6. The second one tips off at 9.
I agree. Although this is the one that plays on Thursday night, so you only get the one game that's like 8:15, 8:30 by the time they kick off on I think that's the NBC game on Thursday night.
Well, I understand, but do something different.
I agree. I'm with you.
The NFL has really had the ability, even with missteps along the way, to completely get the entire country to believe that they're the number one sports product on the market. And as a baseball guy, I hate to say it, but it's true. They're number one. They write the rules. So,
I agree. They have the right to be able to say, you know what, let's rethink it and go with a different approach. I'm with you.
I know it's not going to happen now, but next year, it should be a rematch of the Super Bowl on that first Thursday night.
I'm in.
All right, then we'll have more to talk about. That's really cool. All right, so when we come back, we'll talk about the Yankees. We'll talk about the Mets. The fact that Aaron Judge's still hitting over 400, and it's the middle of May. For the love of God, that's amazing. And the fact that there's a guy hitting in their lineup hitting like 375, and it's going unnoticed, which blows my mind. So we'll be back. We'll talk about Mets. We'll talk about Yankees. Stay with us.
This spring, enjoy some Hudson Valley sunshine and cheer on the Red Foxes. Whether you're a lacrosse fan, baseball fan, softball fan, or even want to check out some water polo, all games on Marist Poughkeepsie campus are free to attend and open to the public. Just come on down. No tickets required. If you're looking for fun, free, family entertainment, think Marist University Athletics. To see the schedule of upcoming games and special events, visit GoRedFoxes.com and click on sports. That's GoRedFoxes.com.
If you are looking for insurance, auto, home, business, life, or disability, there's one name that should pop into your head immediately. Scott Markser State Farm. He's local. He's in Hyde Park. He grew up here. He went to Lord's High School, and he played sports for me when I coached there. This is a guy who will answer your questions when you have them. When you call him, you don't get somebody in Sri Lanka. You get him. So give him a call at 845-204-9444. That's 845-204-9444. Scott Markser State Farm. Call him.
Velvet Llama, cocktails in a can. There's still time to join the conversation. Call the Beacon Studio right now, 877-803-4648.
Welcome back to the program, 6:29 on Monday night, the day after Mother's Day. I hope everybody did the right thing and said, I love you, Mom, and did the right thing. At least a memory of your mom like I had. I miss my mom. She left us about 7-8 years ago. And I got to hang out with my girlfriend yesterday, Allison, and her daughter, and we went to the K104 Cupcake Festival at the building I used to work in. And Rob, I was back for the first time in the building yesterday.
Wow, that is breaking news. I'm actually stunned to hear you say that, but that's good. Good to have you back where you belong.
I parked in the PFK parking lot there by the trailer.
You did?
Yeah, I parked, and I came in the bullpen. I didn't want to go through the front door. I'm not ready to do that yet.
Fair.
I know it's been almost a year at this point, but it still kind of hurts a little bit.
Fair.
And
yeah,
I got a warm welcome.
Right.
I got a warm welcome from. It was really unique. I got a real warm welcome from the staff, the people that I liked. One person I didn't like was mad at me that I didn't say hello to him, but I couldn't stand that kid anyway. And everybody knows what I'm talking about.
I don't, but that's
Ryan.
I don't either.
Ryan, the kid's an idiot. Was that my outside voice? I'm sorry.
It might have been.
That was my outside voice, and now it's in print on my screen. And it was amazing how many fans were there as well who came up and say how much they miss me, they want me back, blah, 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 and it made me feel good. I didn't go into the main building, though. I couldn't do it. I actually stood at second base for a while Allison and her daughter were buying gluten-free cupcakes or something, and I stared at second base at the upper level. It was Zolz is gone.
Yeah, all that stuff.
I was.
Yeah.
And I had a moment of sadness.
Yeah.
I'm still okay overall with the fact that I'm not there anymore, but I miss the fans. I miss most of the people that I work with, and I miss the intoxication of saying something funny and hearing 3,000 people laugh. That's what I miss.
And that is intoxicating.
Yep.
I agree with you.
Yep. So here's another thing. Maybe you guys can help me out with the name. I'm looking at our Facebook Live feed right now, and
Okay.
I'm looking at me because it's a close-up, not because I need to see my face, but with the glasses on, so I have to wear cheaters to read now. I'm sorry, human beings. I'm now 68. I need cheaters. They're not real glasses. And I look like that politician who always has glasses on his nose. The guy from New York.
Chuck Schumer?
Chuck Schumer.
Chuck Schumer?
Well, I know I look like an extremely good-looking version of Chuck.
Yeah, you're
Chuck
way better
Schumer.
looking than him.
But I'm looking at the picture, and I got the things on the nose. I'm like, oh, my God. I used to make fun of Chuck Schumer, and now I'm doing it.
That's why you got to push him back.
How? You mean like this?
Yeah.
I mean like real glasses?
Yeah. There you go.
You think that's better? Let me see.
Better than this.
All right, there. All right.
The problem with the cameras, we haven't really figured out where it works best. So
Well, that looks pretty good, but when everybody else is here, it's not going to work.
right, and it's kind of
Oh,
like
you look distinguished with those glasses pushed back. I like it.
All right, so I should leave it like this, is what you're saying.
I like it. I like it like that. Definitely.
Listen, I trust you, boys. However, I can't see anything else now because, like, if I look up at Mike, he looks like a blur because I only need them to read. But anyway,
right.
we're away. Let's turn the page because it's been nonsense this
Okay.
break. All right, so let's go Mets first because I think we're going to talk normally longer about the Yankees, and Met fans get pissed at me all the time. So, one, as far as the Mets are concerned, the guy holding them together is Lindor and Alonso.
Yes.
Alonso, the guy they didn't want to resign, or they made him jump through all kinds of hoops in order to get it done. And that guy's having one of his best early years ever. And Lindor is literally carrying the team on his back while they wait for Mr. Sosa to get his stuff together. It's shocking. Not Sosa. What am I talking about?
Soto.
Yeah, Soto. Not Sammy. Sammy's not available. So Soto, we talked about it last week, how he doesn't think there's any pressure on him. Despite all that money, the fact that he wasn't really delivering, he says there's no pressure. I beg to differ, but if that's how he can keep his head in the sand like an ostrich, good for him. But he's just started to hit. So, Rob, what do you think of the Mets now, based on their main two guys getting it done, and then as soon as Soto starts to show what he's about, they could be special?
Lindor and Alonso have absolutely carried this team. They have 18 home runs between them. Alonso's hitting 320. Lindor is hitting 301. Soto has 8 home runs, but he's hitting 252. That's not why you have him. You have him for a higher batting average. Lindor and Alonso have been off the charts. Nemo's got a hit for a better batting average. Vientos has not been very good as well. So there's no question you are right about Alonso and Lindor. If Soto gets it going, the Mets are scary good.
Well, and here's the thing, too, is Soto said it early. He's not batting in front of Aaron Judge anymore.
No, he's not.
And people don't understand baseball is that when you hit in front of or behind a guy who is a dangerous hitter that teams are literally afraid of, not just like your normal cleanup hitter, your number 3 guy, but a guy like Ohtani, Judge, Soto. Everybody in front and behind Soto is doing well. He's not. He doesn't have Judge anymore to protect him. He had an amazing year last year. He has the ability to have that year after year, but in order to do that, he has to buckle down and get it done. So if I'm Pete Alonso, I'm sending a car to his house to pick him up every night to make sure he's in the lineup. If he needs a hot dog, I'm going to the concession stand to get it for him. So it to me, those guys are so important in their production and waiting for Soto to do what Soto's supposed to do. Because if you look at the back of the baseball card, I would say he's conservatively in the top 5 of all hitters, if not number 3.
I think that sounds all right to me. I don't have an argument with that. But you know what? Not for nothing. And I realize, again, it's May 12th. I don't want to overreact. Here come the Phillies, who are 7-3 in their last 10, and they're a game and a half behind the Mets. Let's not rule them out.
And there's another thing that, I mean, I know you know, but discussing it with the folks here, they're listening, and I talked about it this morning when I was on with Tom Sipis, is that when you are an elite hitter, a pitcher can't give you the same pitch in consecutive at-bats. I'll explain.
Right.
On Saturday night, Lindor's up, and the pitcher, who I'm talking is a reliever, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, in that game, throws him a sweeper that he pounds into the ground for game-ending, rally-ending double play for a loss. The next night, the same pitcher throws him the same pitch and the same location in the 8th inning, and he hits it for a 2-run homer. You can't make that mistake in the big leagues to one of the all-time great hitters in the league at the moment. And Lindor punished him for throwing the same stupid pitch. The second time he saw it, he hit it for a home run.
No argument.
I was throwing it to you there, and he went silent on me.
No.
Let's start.
No, you can't do that to you can't do that to a good hitter. You cannot.
You can do that to an average hitter. He may not be able to get back on it, but a good hitter, they're going to make you pay for that stupid pitch. And not that it's a stupid pitch, but if I'm the pitcher, I'm thinking to myself, I am not going to show him that sweeper unless I'm throwing it out of the strike zone and making him chase it. I am not going to throw it for a strike. I'm going to use all my other pitchers in and around the strike zone, and that will be like 3-2. I'll throw that and make him chase it, or he walks. Hitting a bomb is not the option. Now, transitioning to the Yankees. I read an article like literally moments before I went on, so much so that Mike had to come out to my desk and say, "Are you coming?" And I was reading this article.
It was 6:58 or 5:58.
Yeah, it was 5:58, and I'm still reading this article. But I was blown away by the article. And it said that the Yankees are about to give up on Spencer Jones.
Wow.
And that they're thinking when they go and they need to start making trades, that all those teams that want him, they're now willing to listen because he has not developed like they thought he would, and it may be time to move on.
I don't know about that. I think the kid has a lot of ability in him. If that's their way of beginning to build for a trade, then okay, so be it. But you're not exactly setting him up for a great trade because you're saying he's not very good at that point. I think there's a tremendous upside to Spencer Jones. I don't know that I want to give up on him, but that's me. I don't make those decisions.
Well, and for folks who don't know, he was with the Renegades. And he's 6'7", runs like a tailback in the NFL, has a plus arm, plus power. Average needs to work on a little bit, and strikeouts need to work a little bit. But I mean, there are guys in the major leagues that's them anyway. So I don't think you give up on somebody like that. But the article was specific, naming sources that some of the shine has come off the apple as far as they are concerned with Spencer, because the guy they really want to push is now Lombard.
Oh, no question. People are really high on Lombard. I wouldn't touch him. You know, they want the Yankees to be their third. You know, the Yankees want Lombard to be their third baseman. Not this year, maybe in 26, and I think that's a little aggressive, to be honest with you. But there's a real upside to Lombard. He is a very good player.
Well, as the main voice of the Renegades, he came up after I got fired. And he was just got called up. So you've seen him live. Give me the scouting report.
He has a wonderful bat. He can really field the position, and he can play multiple positions because the Renegades have had him at third. They've had him at short. I've seen him all over the infield. He can play a little bit. And, again, the bat and the speed are the things to keep an eye on, and those are things that the Yankees don't have a lot of. And you start wondering, does he take Volpe's place even? And I hope not, because I'm still a Volpe guy, by the way. I'll throw that in.
I don't understand the fans that are so down on the kid. I mean, he's still young. They don't get it. He's still a young kid. There's lots of room to grow. He's shown that he's a good defender. He has a plus arm. Not like Peraza, but he has a plus arm. He can hit for power. He can steal a base, and he's a Gold Glove shortstop. And what is he now, 25?
If that, yeah. He's
So,
a kid.
plenty of time.
He really is.
Yeah, and right now there's nobody else below him that's going to make a big impression, is there?
I don't think so. I think the Yankees right now at Hudson Valley are all about the pitching, and there's a lot of great pitching in the Bronx. Volpe, by the way, isn't even 24. No, he's 24. So there you go. But Hudson Valley's all about their pitching right now. They've got some kids who can throw the ball.
They have a tendency to draft really well. You know, you look at all the wins and the fact that they never picked in those first couple of slots, and they haven't for a long, long time. They find ways to find players.
They do. And, you can't take away from what the Yankees' upper, brain trust has done in terms of drafting. It's just, if there's a knock on Brian Cashman, it's the moves that he has made. Obviously, most definitely the Joey Gallo trade and the amount of pieces he sent away for that, which was terrible.
Yeah, but he, in all fairness, he's made a lot of really good moves. Like, for instance,
I agree.
Signing the first baseman. Guy's hitting 375 and nobody's talking about it. He had 3 doubles yesterday, and it was the first time. It was only the third time in Yankee history that the guy had 3 doubles. And again, it was something I did on the air today. There's Jeter did it, and some guy in 1912 did it, and he's hitting 375 and nobody's talking about it. Bellinger has started to hit.
Paul Goldschmidt has been a bargain. So he's been so good. He's been a doubles machine, a hitting machine, not the power numbers, but he does have 20 runs batted in, which is tied with Ben Rice. Nobody's going to be Aaron Judge, who's hitting 409 with 39 runs batted in. Aaron Judge is, the best hitter in baseball right now.
And notice I let you get away with that.
I did. Do you think Ohtani's a better hitter at this point?
I think Ohtani's a better player. And I think it's one.
How can you?
Because he's a pitcher.
How can you say
he
that
plays
right now?
both sides of the ball.
But he hasn't pitched.
He will soon, my son.
He hasn't pitched in 2 years. Okay.
Did he just hang up?
Okay, if you say so.
I thought Rob Adams just hung up.
I thought he did too. Click. Slammed the phone down.
He called me a mofo.
No. I would not do that.
Oh, by the way, Lurch just said on Facebook that Lombard is light years ahead of Spencer Jones in talent.
I would go along. I don't know if light years is fair, but yes, I agree that Spencer Jones is great, has the ability to be great, but Lombard is right now just an incredible prospect.
By the way, he also added the debut of Zolz's Sinus Cam, brought to you by Mucinex.
Yeah, okay, there's that.
All right, so Judge, 409, team leader, does it silently and deadly. A must-watch. Fans pay to see him in other ballparks when he comes to town. And the Yankees just have to find a way to put the pieces together. And I think between the Mets and the Yankees, baseball is going to be very entertaining. And I'll end with this, because we want to make sure we get to Joey on the other side of this break. This weekend is Subway Series. I can't wait.
That's good.
Okay, good, Rob. Thanks for being right on top of that. He's mad at me with the Ohtani. He's mad at me for Ohtani. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk to Joe Assanio, the head softball coach at Marist College. And there's also, speaking of Marist College, our guy is, the kids are gone. It amazes me that he's still there walking around campus. Right now, he's standing at the pitcher's mound at the softball field where Coach Joe makes his living as their coach. Go ahead.
Thanks, Zolz. Here's this week's Marist Minute. The Red Foxes are MAC champions for the 5th time in program history and the 2nd in the last 3 years. The Marist softball team is headed to the NCAA tournament. After going undefeated through the winner's bracket, Marist wasted no time on Championship Sunday, scoring 6 runs before making it out. A Matty Pleasance grand slam and homers from Sam Rogers and Mackenzie Gore set the tone, getting Marist out to a 9-0 lead after the first inning, an advantage they would never relinquish in their 10-2 win over Siena. Led by Kingston native and former Major Leaguer Joe Asanio, the team is now 47-7 overall and on a 17-game winning streak. They earned a 3 seed in the College Station Regional, the highest in program history. Marist NCAA tournament kicks off this Friday at 1 p.m. against the Liberty Flames. You can see the game live on ESPN Plus as the Red Foxes vie for their first ever postseason victory. That's this week's Marist Minute. We'll be right back after these messages.
In a world full of hidden fees, surprise charges, and market price, there's one place where your bacon comes without bureaucracy. Welcome to the 84 Diner, where every meal is tariff-free, import-approved, and locally delicious. From pancakes to pot roast, Route 52 in Fishkill has known one truth forever. The 84 Diner feeds the Hudson Valley and asks nothing in return but your appetite. Come hungry, leave happy, absolutely tariff-free.
You're listening to Are You Kidding Me Again with Zolz, powered by Velvet Llama. Cocktails in a can on The Beacon. 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, 94.3 FM in Peekskill, and streaming online at hvbeacon.com. Now, back to Zolz.
Welcome back to the program as we get set to talk to Joe Asanio. Is the line blinking? All right, I'm texting him, call now.
Nothing yet.
So, to me, it's amazing when Little Marist College can bubble up. I'm sorry, Marist University can bubble up and get themselves in the NCAAs. When Brian Georges first got the job, Rob, to do girls basketball there after a lengthy career at Lourdes where he won a bunch of state titles, I said on the air where I was at the time, within 3 years, he'll have them in the NCAAs. He got them there in 2 years. And then really got some wins in the bracket. So now it's Joe Asanio. Joe has had them in the bracket before, but now it's an opportunity for 2 things. For one, for them to have a good seed, and 2, for a chance to do some things and scare some people, because Marist can do 2 things, hit and pitch. And in softball, if you have a pitcher that can dominate, it's almost unfair.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Pitching is everything in softball. And, you know, Joe has that kind of team right now. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. They'll be a tough out in the tournament. And why not have some fun with Marist University? And Joe's the right guy to drive that bus for sure.
No, there's no doubt. And I'm going to be in, and I'm going to be looking at the scores and trying to stay in touch. And if it's streaming anywhere, I'm going to find out where that is. I'm going to watch that.
I don't blame you. I would be totally into watching it, being there, being a part of it. This is tremendous. This is great for the Hudson Valley. I think people should make more of a fuss about it. We know that women's sports, unfortunately, doesn't get that kind of attention, but this team deserves that attention.
100%. And it was kind of weird because Joe used to tell me all the time, you have no idea what these guys are like or how the girls pitch. And I remember, who was that really beautiful blonde softball pitcher that was a dominant pitcher? And she was married to a major leaguer.
Yes. I know who you're talking about. I got to look up who that is. Is that Julie?
Nope.
Oh, geez. No.
Nope. Her
Okay,
name's it's definitely not Julie. Anyway, she got an opportunity to pitch against a bunch of major leaguers, like, I don't know, Mike Piazza, those kind of guys. And they're at 45 feet, and they throw the ball 75, 80 miles an hour from that distance, and then they make the ball do ridiculous things. Not one major leaguer could get a solid hit off of her. And so Joe said,
at Marist?
Huh?
Did she play at Marist?
No, she was a big-time national, like a national softball.
Like Jenny Finch.
That's it. Well, dude, I said beautiful
Yes.
blonde. And she's married
Yes.
to a guy who was a pitcher, I think, for the Brewers.
I think you're right.
So anyway, the major league hitters couldn't get a hit off her. So Joe said, come to a game and go behind the backstop and watch to see what it looks like. And I was blown away at two things: the velocity, and when they threw a changeup, it was almost unfair.
Yeah.
And it was like they completely
Yeah.
pulled the string. And if I said to Joe, he said, man, if they threw that to me, I would literally come out of my shoes. There's no way I could time that.
Jenny Finch became absolutely the face of American softball, in my opinion. Her husband, Casey Daigle, by the way, who pitched for the Diamondbacks, or played for the Diamondbacks and for the Astros.
Is that the number?
Yep.
Okay, well, I've given Joe the right number, and he said he was going to call, but now it's at 51, and I'm not so sure it's going to happen. But still proud of Marist softball, and we wish them the best, and we hope the best for what they're going to do. One of, you know how we always do like potpourri things, and you're getting this without me warning you, is that I am so tired of the nowadays athlete who doesn't understand what a privilege it is to play professional sports and get paid a lot of money to play kids' games. This one is Rafael Devers.
Oh, my God.
What an idiot, man. The Red Sox want to change his position, and he's saying no. And he's a great hitter. But in all fairness, he's butcher at third base, and the guy they have is significantly better than he is at third base. And he has told the Red Sox no and cursed them out and got on social media, and he's running his mouth, and he's going to have a meeting with the ownership group. I wouldn't be surprised for a team that traded Mookie Betts that they get rid of this, and he's a punk.
I have no argument. I think Rafael Devers has looked really bad, and we don't talk about this a lot, but Mike Piazza pulled the same thing. The Mets wanted him out from behind the plate to go to first base, and by the way, Piazza was a butcher at first base as well, but Piazza whined about it and eventually went there, was not very good. Players get very attached to their positions, and Devers, I mean, they got a better third baseman. Go to first base, and instead he's this DH who's hitting 280 with 7 home runs, by the way. I think he looks terrible. If I'm the Red Sox, trade him. See what you can get for him.
All right, so you know how you were mad at me about the whole Ohtani Judge thing?
Here it comes.
I am really mad at you that you would dare to question my guy.
Piazza?
Oh, dude. There is my favorite Dodgers of all time. Don Drysdale.
Right.
Steve Garvey, Mike
Okay.
Piazza.
Really? Well, okay.
I kind of had one from every generation. But loved the guy. I felt his lack of catching ability was a media-driven thing, that there were things he was really good at as a catcher. Blocking the ball in the dirt, framing pitches, calling games, pop-ups, blocking the plate. He just couldn't throw.
I loved watching him play.
He couldn't throw.
Yeah.
He could not throw.
You're right.
But because he couldn't throw, they disparaged everything about his catching game. So I'm now mad at you. And I have one word for you.
No. Keep it clean.
I just gave him a raspberry.
Tom Seibers is going to be like, it smells like Lifesavers.
Tom Seibers goes, is this green Lifesavers on my microphone?
Fair enough.
And then one thing to wrap it up, and I'm sure that's going to get me in trouble. If you don't want to make any comments, you don't have to. I don't remember if we've talked about this, but I'm going to make my statement, and you can tell me and tell the audience who I'm talking about. Coach, for the love of God, run away from the Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh, for the love of God, you are so right. I know it's becoming too much of a kind of page 6 type of thing with Coach Belichick and this young woman who just looks ridiculous. This whole situation is bad. Miss Maine and all this other stuff.
Oh, she came in third place, dude. She came in third place. Settle down.
Oh, I can't argue that. I can't argue that. But I will say this: I'm not convinced that he ever coaches a game at North Carolina.
Well, he has an out in his contract. He can still walk away.
Yes, he does.
But
yes, he could.
The point is that she's 24. He's what, 107? Something like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
And so you tip your cap to a guy who has been able to capture a beautiful young lady. And I'm one of the guys who don't think she's so beautiful. She's young, but I think with the hair and the makeup and the dresses, it's a 6. You shine up to a 7.5 or an 8. And when she's 50 years younger than her boyfriend, she immediately jumps up based on the curve to a 9. Not in my book, but certainly in Coach Belichick. And she made him look so bad on 60 Minutes. I was startled that the greatest coach ever let her get away with that. We're not going to talk about that. I almost fell off my couch.
It was embarrassing, and apparently that's the only thing that CBS left in, because apparently she did much more throughout that interview.
Correct.
I just think this looks really bad for Belichick in the long run.
And she has a pretty bad reputation at University of North Carolina with all of her antics. And Coach, I don't care how young she is, I don't care how pretty you think she is, please run away. She is Ursula from the Little Mermaid in reality.
Oh, he's Yoko Ono. I mean, this is not good.
Man,
and his family is very concerned.
Dude, I made a Disney reference and Mikey Clicks did nothing. I did that for him.
Ursula, I heard it.
But you didn't even react.
I'm waiting for the call to come in, and it's not coming in.
Hey, listen, Joey's not calling at this point. So
yeah, not now.
I hate it that a guy like him, and he doesn't really have a good reputation as a human being either. He's the grumpy guy in the press conferences. His players love to hate him, but they all run through a brick wall for him. The relationship with Tom Brady, is it Brady or is it the coach? Well, Brady won the Super Bowl without the coach. The coach didn't win the Super Bowl without Brady.
I agree. I agree completely. And personally, I'm still a Lombardi guy when we talk about GOATs, so it is what it is.
All right, so we got 3 minutes. Really quickly, let's talk about the game you are about to listen to if you stay with us here on the Beacon, and I certainly suggest you do. It's Game 4, Knicks Celtics. I'll give you my scouting report in 30 seconds. Yes, I was wrong about them losing those first couple of games. The Knicks. They won both games. But they looked like the Knicks Sunday or Saturday, and the Celtics look like the Celtics. The strength of the Celtics is their ability to shoot the 3. The weakness of the Knicks is to defend the outside shot. So when you take one team's strength and they can exploit the other team's weakness at the same time, it makes for a deadly combination. And I still don't think the Knicks are going to win this series. I still say Celtics, even though I'm a lifelong Knicks fan. Celtics in 6.
I do as well. That's been my pick all along. I think the Celtics figured it out in Game 3, and they can hit the outside shot. As you said, the Knicks have not looked good defending. Brunson can go off for 50. It won't make that big of a difference in the long run. You can only score, so many points. The Celtics can keep shooting the 3, and that's going to hurt the Knicks overall.
I mean, it was nice, and it's romantic to talk about the fact that the Knicks looked great in those 2 wins, and it pumped up the fan base, and they really thought the Knicks were going to do what they had to do. But the Celtics are just too strong.
Yep, I agree.
All right, so it's time to thank everybody. Mikey Clicks, thanks for hooking up all the magic.
Thank you.
Thanks to Lurch for listening and commenting.
Lurch.
Steve Gliner answered the Jenny Finch thing right before Rob was able to come with it. Rob, thank you very much to join us from Kerhonkson. I hope whatever sporting event,
I love it.
Whatever sporting event you're covering went well. Good night, everybody. There you have it. That's Sports as I See It. I'm the Zolz. God bless America. Drive safely.
WGHQ Kingston, WBNR Beacon, WLNA Peekskill. The Hudson Valley's News Talk Sports. This is The Beacon.
This is New York Knicks basketball on 920 WGHQ AM Kingston 12.
Chummy with China. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. The United States and China agreeing to a 90-day pause in tariffs and to reduce their tariffs by 115%, all as part of a trade agreement. And it comes after 2 days of trade talks between the two countries in Switzerland over this past weekend. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the international supply chain was a top concern for the United States.